Disneyland recently announced they will celebrate Twin Moons Eclipse Day with a Star Wars Nite After Hours party that will take over parts of Tomorrowland and Galaxy's Edge with galactic dance floors, interstellar cocktails, and a fireworks spectacular themed to the sights and sounds of a galaxy far, far away. Weather permitting, of course. The After Hours Disneyland After Dark event will require a separate admission event ticket that includes exclusive access to the limited themed entertainment, food, drinks, and special edition merchandise, as well as photo opportunities with a cavalcade of Star Wars luminaries and a Star Wars themed fireworks spectacular. The Disneyland After Dark event will take place on Thursday, August 27th, which happens to be the opening night of Star Wars Celebration, a fan convention taking place at the Anaheim Convention Center from August 27th to August 30th, bringing an estimated 35,000 Star Wars fans to Southern California for the first ever Black Spire celebration. So let's break down this press release and set our expectations for the first ever party thrown in Batuu. Star Wars Night begins at 6 p.m. on August 27th in Tomorrowland's Star Wars Launch Bay before moving over to the Galaxy's Edge for the Twin Moons Eclipse Day celebration. Tomorrowland will probably act as the home of original trilogy characters for meet and greets, allowing Disneyland to offer up beloved traditional characters while not breaking the timeline created for Batuu. Expect to meet your favorite characters from original trilogy films at Star Wars Launch Bay and over at the Star Trader. And in this spot, behind the Star Trader at the Starcade, where they had Ewok meet and greets on 80s Night. And speaking of this area, I would assume Star Trader will have its current offering of merchandise, but the more open and underused Launch Bay will house the limited edition merchandise created only for the Twin Moons Eclipse Day celebration. Expect this to be the longest line early in the evening to loosen up as the night goes on, but the merchandise does run out. Another one of the calculated gambles fans have to take at after hours events. Look for limited food items to appear at the Galactic Grill, and I believe this is where we'll get one of the promised Galactic dance floors. Part of the allure of the after-hour events at Disneyland is the opportunity to get on attractions with little to no wait times. Essentially, it's a private party. While Nemo, Autopia, and Buzz Blasters being open may not be guaranteed, a sure bet is Star Tours, with the Rise of Skywalker scenes added, and Space Mountain with the possible return of Hyperspace Mountain. While I doubt Path of the Jedi would be planned because all of these fans are all too familiar with those clips, this could be a great spot for an extended trailer of Mandalorian Season 2, which probably would be about 3 months out from its premiere. Fingers crossed, let's hope. Tomorrowland kicking off the Galaxy's Edge is nothing new. Last spring when Star Wars Galaxy's Edge opened, you had to obtain a 4-hour reservation to enter the new land. The reservations were handed out at Launch Bay, and on opening day, the cast members proudly marched the fans on this path, which makes it a safe bet that this will be the way the party will migrate from land to land. Traveling from Tomorrowland around the backside of Matterhorn, along the northern tip of Fantasyland, arriving at the furthest corner of Frontierland. Although on opening day, they went with the center entrance to give the grand reveal of the new land, I would assume they'll probably use this entrance, which is much wider with less bottlenecking. The other path has these rock hangovers to obstruct your view from spires that would ruin the illusion of being in the northern tip of Frontierland. A safe bet is one of these two entry points will be the way that you walk into the first ever party in Batuu.
This is the way.
Select Disneyland attractions will be open during Star Wars Night, While Disneyland hasn't officially announced which rides will be operating, part of the allure of the after-hours events is the opportunity to get on attractions such as Star Tours, Millennium Falcon, Smugglers Run, and Rise of the Resistance, multiple times with limited lines.
Now, in my estimation, one of the benefits to the Star Wars Nite is going to be riding this thing with limited people in the park.
The after-hours party is actually quite brilliant on Disney's part. With a potential 35,000 fans in town for Star Wars Celebration, the boarding pass system would just be cruel to show up early each morning, hoping to get on the attraction while waiting all day long over at the Anaheim Convention Center, and at some point, having to leave the convention center to work your way back over to Disneyland. Doing an after-hours party with a limited amount of guests at Disneyland would give an opportunity to ride Rise of the Resistance in a standby capacity, and dependent on the amount of tickets sold, giving the rare opportunity to ride Rise of the Resistance more than one time on your visit. Disney once again coming up with creative problem solving for a land and attraction of such high demand, allowing fans to cross Rise of the Resistance off at the beginning of their Star Wars Celebration weekend.
Rumor has it has a capacity of about 1,500 people. So let's say that they sold 6,000 tickets. They were open for 4 hours. You do the math. Not everybody's going to want to ride it. Not everybody can be in line at the same time. I feel good about your odds of getting 2 or 3 rides in. If that's an option, that alone will make this an event you want to buy your ticket as soon as possible, but they will not last. People would pay that just to ride Rise of the Resistance, and I would say that it's worth it.
Droid Depot and Savi's Workshop will both be open during Star Wars Nite for those that want to build their own R2 unit or a lightsaber. Reservations are recommended, and as far as limited edition items go in these two shops, I would assume Savi's Workshop is a no-fly zone. Limited capacity, the product is a show. I don't think we'll see limited edition at Savi's Workshop. However, Droid Depot does have an accompanying gift shop. There might be a rare item there, or a possible one night only couple of different build sets to make a truly unique droid that showed that you were able to celebrate this event. Doc Ondor's Den of Antiquities. This is an attraction, not a shop. I don't know that there would be any limited edition items dropped there. If anything, it might be something on the real high end, $150 plus item, because this shop is a place that people want to go in and hang out. Doc's shop just doesn't have the line capacity. If the line were to get too long, it would block the stairs, it would block the exit from Savi's, it would mess up the queue for Rondo Roasters. So this is a place they don't need 100 people queued up outside of. And the potential dark horse as the best place to pick up limited edition merchandise could be the Resistance Outpost. A very open part of the park, could handle long lines, and if you've ever walked the paths there, you'll see that there's little enclaves that have been dug out along the side where a cart can be pushed up to do temporary vending. Limited edition merchandise in this land would bring a kinetic energy versus over in the Black Spire Outpost, creating congestion and fan frustration. The Black Spire Outpost, bizarre, full of all of its shops. These are not deep shops. They're once again somewhere between attraction and commerce, not able to handle a high occupancy of folks queued up to buy limited edition merchandise. And quite honestly, the items that they do have already are so unique and so clever, I would highly recommend people coming in from out of town. This is a great place to catch a bargain and to get that keepsake that it truly feels like a treasure. I don't know how long they will keep up the merchandise offerings here, being as clever and as smart as they are, so enjoy it while it lasts. And remember, nothing in Galaxy's Edge ever says the word Star Wars on it. Anything sold limited edition in this land will be clever, it will be unique, and it will feel authentic to the land. If you want to see logos and character names, you're going to have to go back over to Launch Bay, where I assume the mother lode of limited edition merchandise will be handed out. And in speaking of party, where do we think the Galactic dance floor in Galaxy's Edge will be? Well, I studied the land and I thought about where's the largest open space that would be able to handle a party atmosphere. And I came up with this conclusion: right in front of Kylo Ren's ship. This is by far the most open area, built like a mini concert hall. You have a stage for a DJ, for performers, and a lot of space for people to dance, take photos, and hang out and have a general good time. Anything like this around the Millennium Falcon wouldn't make sense. It would only interfere Smugglers Run, one of the keynote attractions of this party. And then working our way over to Resistance area, there's never a wide berth. It's too sparse, it's too trailway, it's too much, frankly, out in the woods, making this area probably the #1 party destination in the Galactic dance floor that we were promised. Speaking of promises, will we see more characters roaming the land? Will we see more droids roaming the land? Will Star Wars Galaxy's Edge finally feel like the Star Wars dream that we were all promised? Will these stages, masterfully crafted, up above your normal eye line, come to life? If you look around the Galaxy's Edge, there are so many potential stages for storytelling, and putting the show up high allows everyone to get the perfect view or the perfect pick. I'm really hoping that this is the night that we see some of these stages come to life and tell us new Star Wars stories and give us each an experience that we'll remember for a lifetime. Definitely expect Oga's Cantina to offer specialty cocktails during the event. And I also like your odds on Docking Bay 7 Food and Cargo having something special. The milk stand has plenty of room for an extended queue of guests queued up to get a rare and limited flavor of milk for the evening.
But I think the fun part about a Star Wars night in Batuu is that you're allowed to wear costumes.
The Disneyland After Dark events are one of the few times adults can wear costumes in the park. Visitors can dress as their favorite Star Wars characters as long as they don't pose for photos or sign autographs. Costumes can't be obstructive, offensive, or violent. Weapons aren't usually permitted, but we'll have to wait and see if that extends to lightsabers and stormtrooper blasters.
So being in Batuu, when people are dressed up as their favorite characters or creating their own characters, I think that's really gonna make Star Wars Galaxy's Edge come to life. That excites me. I mean, just imagine walking through the market full of fans, dressed up, living their greatest Star Wars fantasy. That's how I've always wanted to see it. But so far, hasn't been that way. That alone could make the evening worth it. Just seeing all the fan interaction. And one other major thing. If you've ever watched the fireworks from Galaxy's Edge, then you know it's missing something major. The music.
It's a very weird Disneyland experience. There's no announcement, there's no theme music. You just stand there in front of the Millennium Falcon and just watch the fireworks go off in what seems like such a random amount of time. Casual bursts here and there with lots of downtime because we're not getting the storytelling that people are enjoying over on Main Street USA or at the Rivers of America or the Small World Mall. We're just standing watching the fireworks at random. And we stand there because they look beautiful with the juxtaposition against the spires of Batuu. Imagining this with Star Wars music, with memorable sounds, possibly a drone flyover or two. Big fingers crossed on that one.
So a Star Wars fireworks show with the proper songs, proper sound effects happening right over my shoulder would be amazing. Because as I've been here before for fireworks, I've put my AirPods in and listened to the soundtrack because it's just weird. Fireworks in Disneyland with no music, it's completely bizarre. So a real value to this event could be the fireworks show happening right above me, synced to the sounds and songs that we all love from the Star Wars universe. That's got me excited. That's actually got me very pumped up.
Tickets have not gone on sale and the prices haven't been announced, but all the other Disneyland After events cost $109. They typically run until midnight or 1 a.m. This party's kicking off at 6. I'm hoping that it goes to 1 a.m. We can get into Batuu by 8 or 9, giving us lots of opportunities to ride Rise of the Resistance and celebrate our love of Star Wars with fans from all around the world and enjoy the first ever party in Batuu. I can't wait to get my tickets. I hope that I'm able to get tickets, and I hope I'm able to see you there. And if you see me, make sure you say hi. Till the Spires. I can't wait to celebrate Twin Moons Eclipse Day, whatever that is. But it's got such a good ring to it. It sounds so authentically Star Wars.